Because of the ongoing oil crisis, many aspects of the life have been affected. And apart from the rising prices of basic commodities, the second concern of people is work. Marami pong OFW ang napauwi nang wala sa oras. Maraming negosyo ang naghihirap at napipilitang magbawas ng operations o magsara na lang. Kabuhayan ng isang pamilya ang nakataya, kaya naman talagang malaking problema itong kinaharap natin ngayon. And while every Filipino deserves decent employment, hindi po ito ang realidad. Kaya naman madami nga sa atin ang nangingibang bansa para magkaroon ng maayos na hanap buhay. Pero kapag ang tao ay kapit sa patalim, kahit hindi legal na trabaho ay pinapasok. O di kaya madaling pumapatol sa mga inaalok na trabaho ng mga illegal recruiters. Ito po ang kinakatakutan ko. Sa pagkakadesperado ng mga tao ngayon, nagbukas ang oportunidad para sa mga gustong abusuhin ang mga pangangailangan nila para kunin sila sa mga trabahong illegal. Ito po ang lumapit sa akin kamakailan, mga babae na dinala sa Malaysia bilang massage therapist. Pero hindi po ito ang nangyari. How do these illegal recruitment agencies operate? And how can we nip it at the bud? Number two, while we have placed safeguards in preventing these illegal recruitment and trafficking in persons, they're still able to deploy and leave the country. Why and how? Where are the holes in these regulations? And third, we will look at the accountability of these actions, both criminal and administrative liability. Are they enough to prevent these things? It seems kulang pa dahil tuloy-tuloy pa rin nangyayari despite the fact that we have so many laws in place, policies in place to ensure that human trafficking is not going to happen anymore. Pero patuloy pa rin pong nangyayari. What can we adjust in our laws to give it more teeth? The bill filed by Senator Mark Villar, which seeks to review the definition of illegal recruitment, will be our take-off point. In today's hearing, we will also briefly follow up some issues that our OFWs have raised to my office so that they could be addressed by our hardworking officials sa DMW and OWA.
Majority po ng aming sinasampang kaso, nakikipag-settle po si complainant. Yung victim po natin nakikipag-settle, no? At kung nag-settle sila, the court has no other way than to dismiss the case. Sana meron tayong isang task na sinasabi doon, ang private complainant is, for example, the department or the IACAT, hindi yung victim. Kasi pag sila po ang complainant at na-dismiss or nakipag-settle sila, wala na po magagawa ang korte doon eh. We would like a law na sila ay isa lamang victim at witness at the same time. So that kahit makipag-settle po sila, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung kaso. We will prosecute this to the fullest and make sure lahat po ng perpetrators ipapakulong po natin. Yun po yung wala sa batas at yun po ang kulang natin. Yun po yung gusto kong ipaliwanag.
Napakaganda niyan, ano? Sige, that's why we're here para magkaroon kami ng idea kung paano tayo atake nang sa gayon magkaroon tayo ng batas at ngipin na tuloy-tuloy ma-prosecute nga, tama kayo, itong mga perpetrators, human trafficking, kahit na nag-withdraw na or nakipag-areglo itong mga victims, tama siguro pwedeng ipagpatuloy ng IACAT.